I wouldn't mind picking up on this idea because, I've, until meeting you, spent most of my time in the social space. But we've chatted a great deal about the fact that the social space is great because it's cost effective and in many places free. But there is some real power in the idea of using the search and paid facilities because the intention of the client is different.
Yes.
And can you explore a little bit of that? I mean, I don't think there's much point in spending hours a day on a free site if no one goes there to buy anything.
Right.
As opposed to spending even $20 a day if people go to that site with the express purpose of actually buying stuff. And there's got to be a reason to flip it, isn't there?
Yes, I think it comes down, one, the sales funnel conversions and the intent of the user. And so the two are so different. For instance, the fact that you have a person might have a huge social network, lots and lots, thousands to hundreds of thousands into the millions of followers. That's wonderful, and it does actually have value. You get to use that by disseminating your information freely to them, and you might get impressions which have very little weight, but you might actually get people clicking on or engaging with that content that has a lot of weight, and to the sharing the content, which is the greatest weight, meaning that becomes then a referral, basically. And that is brilliant, and we're talking about social. But the intent here by the user or the fan or follower, it costs nothing to them to like your page, to retweet your tweet and message, and to basically show reciprocity and that they like you. That's fabulous, but it's not a cost in real dollars if they don't go and buy your product, which is what you were saying. Why spend all our time if they're really not going to convert? And that's the intent of that user in the social network space. It has value, but it may not be a direct correlation on return of investment, the ROI found in physical dollars. And that's what search is so good for, because the intent of the user in search marketing is that they were looking specifically for that content, that product or service, and hopefully they came upon your product or service that matched their intent, meaning that what they were looking for, you have it. And when they click on your site, they go even further down that sales funnel. They land on your site, they like what they see, and they do the ultimate, I guess, bow to you, and that is that they buy the product. And that's right. And so what little money you might have put in, because it's still cheaper to market oneself on the internet than in traditional means of marketing, which is the billboards, newspapers, radio, television. That is one of the biggest assets that the internet has. It does equal the playing field. It does allow a far larger audience to locate your product, especially in a niche where you're really have a very specialized product and you want to get found. You will pay. Use these keywords. Google has a keyword tool, and it's fabulous because you can then look at what your keywords that you want to describe your product as, how competitive they are, and what you can expect to pay cost per click for that keyword if you want to use it to market yourself in that AdWords campaign.
Let's just pick up on this idea because, a lot of people who are attracted to social media marketing and they may not be familiar with what we're chatting about today, they have an aversion to spending money on advertising. But as you said, it doesn't cost that much, and the ROI is infinitely better in most cases, isn't it?
It can certainly be. It really can be hugely important when you want to gauge how well you are doing in the marketplace and tweaking that marketing that you've generated around that product or service or yourself by using the paid advertising to do that for search.
And how much do you recommend that people would spend? Would you be able to mount a reasonable campaign for, say, $20 a day?
Here's the thing, not all platforms were made equal. And I have said this in previous tutorials, if they look at the Facebook tutorials and or even SEO, I have mentioned several places and several times, Facebook advertising to me, right now as it stands, is still not a good use of money over that of a Google AdWords campaign ad. And the reason I say that is the intent, once again, Facebook came out as a social network. They habitualized the user to socializing, not to search. And
Right.
you know, if
It
you
all
do,
comes down to the conditioning and the intention, doesn't it? When you
yes,
go onto Google, you're looking for a product, so you're already thinking, if I find something that I like, I'll buy it. You see an ad on Facebook, it's often annoying, isn't it?
the fact is, it's not what you're there doing. You're still not going to Facebook to search. As much as they'd love to promote that, I have done numerous tests myself, and I have 100% of the time have received very little return on my investment with Facebook. Never ever feeling as if it was an adequate platform. Even if it was boosting a post, I still do not find that it's necessarily a good use of my time or my money. I play with it. I keep returning to it to see if in fact things about it might have changed, because they're constantly saying how, you know, they've added this for their search, and they're, because they want to be searched. They have all these eyeballs spending all this time on their site. They figure this is where the money is. It's in advertising, but it's not the kind of platform people use for that
And the
purpose.
reverse is the case. The reverse is the case with Google. You've had some good results from Google with
Oh yes,
yourself.
I have had great results for my money. I've had great results, and I know too that when, based on your quality score with Google, and this is all about placing an ad in that's separate from, say, this discussion, because it's truly in depth. But let's say for the purposes of this tutorial right now, Google, because its intention is ad-based, and it is so good at equaling the playing field so that you can't just, the highest bidder does not get, it has get to the top in the SERP, which is search engine rank page. They don't just get there because they can buy their way there. They have to effectively get there because they have quality. They have a quality ad that had a high conversion rate, because Google doesn't get paid if people don't click. If they don't go through that part of the sales funnel, they've generated the ad, but there's been no conversion. And so they want the user to be happy with the experience, and they want the user to click on that, and they're going to reward the advertiser with a higher quality score that will actually help them reduce the amount they pay per click than somebody with a lower quality score. It's a very interesting algorithm, but Google, it really is about matching keywords, things that people are searching for, semantically, close proximity, that, you know, people may misspell things, and Google will anticipate that that's a common misspelling and still help you find what you're looking for. It's remarkable.